You know those people who just walk into a room and light it up? The kind of person everyone is naturally drawn to, someone they just instantly trust and want to follow? Well, we call that charisma. But what if I told you it's not some kind of magic you're born with? What if it's actually a skill that anyone, and I mean anyone, including you, can learn? Let's break down exactly how. So, here's the million-dollar question. And if you're like most of us, you've probably always leaned towards the born with it side of things. We have this idea that charisma is this rare gift. You either have it or you don't. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? And this really gets to the heart of it. We love the myth that charisma is magic. But the reality? It's much more like a machine. It's a set of specific, concrete behaviors that you can actually practice and get really good at. The people we think of as naturals, they just happen to learn these behaviors so early in life that they became automatic. But they are skills, not some magical gift. Okay, so let's get a really clear definition here. Charisma isn't about being good-looking or being the loudest person in the room. At its absolute core, it is a specific set of nonverbal behaviors that get people to like you, trust you, and, well, want to follow your lead. It's all the powerful stuff that's communicated without you ever saying a word. So if it's a set of behaviors, what are they? Well, the great news is, it's not some impossibly long, complicated list. The entire framework for charisma can actually be broken down into just 3 core components. Think of these as your fundamental building blocks. And here they are: presence, power, and warmth. That's it. Every single charismatic interaction you've ever witnessed is just some combination of these 3 things. The only thing that changes is the recipe, which ingredient is strongest. And that creates different styles of charisma. Let's dig into each one. We have to start with presence because, honestly, this is the absolute foundation of charisma. Everything else is built right on top of this. If you don't have presence, the other 2 just fall flat. Just look at that number for a second. 17 milliseconds. That's literally faster than you can blink, and it's how fast our brains can read a facial expression. So, what does that mean? It means if your mind is wandering, even for a split second, your face will give you away. The other person might not know exactly why, but they'll feel it. They'll sense that something's off. And that is why you simply cannot fake presence. And on the flip side, the effect of genuine presence is just massive. When you are truly there with someone, giving them your full attention, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel respected. That feeling of being valued is the bedrock of any real human connection. It makes people want to open up to you. Okay, so how do you actually do it, right? Here's a wonderfully simple, almost silly-sounding technique. The next time you're talking to someone and you feel your mind start to drift away, just notice it. Then, for just a second, shift your entire focus to the physical sensations in your toes. I know, it sounds weird. But what it does is it yanks your attention out of your racing thoughts and grounds you back in your body, in the present moment. And from there, you can fully re-engage. Just try it. All right, so once you have that foundation of presence, you start to layer on the next 2 components, power and warmth. Think of these as 2 sides of the same coin, these complementary forces that work together to create that magnetic influence we're talking about. Let's talk about power first. Now, hold on. This doesn't mean being aggressive or bossy. It means projecting confidence and status through your body language. And this analogy is just perfect. A gorilla beats its chest to literally make itself look bigger and more dominant. We humans do the same thing, just a little more subtly. We take up more physical space, leaning back, draping an arm over a chair to signal our confidence. Go ahead, you can try this right now. Wherever you are, just sit or stand up a little straighter. Pull your shoulders back, lift your chin slightly, just adopt that posture of a confident leader. How does that feel? What's wild is that research shows these, quote, power poses don't just make you look more confident, they actually change your body chemistry to make you feel more confident. But here's the crucial catch. Power without warmth can come across as just plain arrogant or cold, so you have to balance it out with warmth. And here's the trick. You absolutely cannot fake warmth. Your body language, especially those tiny little muscles around your eyes, will give you away in an instant. The only way to project warmth is to genuinely feel it on the inside. So how in the world do you control how you heal, especially when you're stressed out or angry? Let me walk you through this incredible technique called rewriting reality. Just imagine this scene. You're driving to a huge career-defining meeting. You're feeling great. And then suddenly, bam,
some car just dangerously swerves right in front of you. Your heart pounds and you instantly see red, right? You're furious. Now, hold that feeling of anger. But what if you learned this? What if that person wasn't a jerk, but a desperate mother trying to save her baby's life? Your anger, it would just vanish, wouldn't it? It would instantly flip to empathy and concern. Your whole internal state would shift in a second. And that, right there, is the technique. See, in most situations in life, you will never know the other person's true story. You'll never know if they were a jerk or a desperate mother. So since you can't know the objective reality, you are completely free to choose the interpretation that puts you in the most helpful, positive, and charismatic state of mind. You get to rewrite reality. So, we have our 3 ingredients: presence, power, and warmth. Now it's time to have some fun and see how we can put it all together to find a charisma style that actually works for you. Let's look at how these components mix and match. Turns out there are 4 main charisma styles you can master. There's focus, visionary, kindness, and authority charisma. Each one is just a different recipe, emphasizing a different blend of our 3 core components. Let's see which one sounds like you. This table breaks it down perfectly. First up, focus charisma. This one is almost pure presence. It's when you make someone feel like they are the most important person in the world at that moment. Then you have visionary charisma. Think someone like Steve Jobs. This is fueled by power and a deep, unshakable belief in a vision that just inspires people to follow. Then there's kindness charisma. Think of the Dalai Lama. It leads with warmth, radiating this goodwill and acceptance that creates an immediate emotional bond. And finally, authority charisma. This leads with power and status, using your expertise and credibility to make people feel confident and ready to listen. And here's the best part. You don't have to pick just one and stick with it forever. The most charismatic people are flexible. They look at the situation, they think about their goals, they consider their own personality, and then they choose the charisma style that's going to work best in that specific moment. It's a toolkit, not a fixed identity. So as we wrap things up here, the final question really is for you. Now that you know that charisma is a learnable skill and you understand the building blocks of presence, power, and warmth, which style are you going to start practicing first?